Hello and welcome back to Gardening Naturally with Green Fingertips. My name's Josie and I'm your natural gardening coach. So today we're talking about herbs to grow over winter. What herbs grow happily through the cold? What herbs will grow through the winter but just need a little bit of help? And how to protect them. The herbs I'm talking about today are defined as plants with leaves, seeds or flowers that are used to flavour cooking, medicines or perfumes. So we're not talking about the non-woody stemmed plants that die back after flowering. So the definition of like herbaceous perennials. A bit of a definition twist there, so I thought I'd just clear that up before we got started. There's a few herbs that will grow quite happily through the winter. They're cold hardy, they don't worry about frost or anything like that. These plants that need any protection over winter, they're fine. They'll keep growing quite happily until the spring, new shoots showing, and we can keep using them for our cooking and anything else we want to use herbs for. So herbs like bay, rosemary, chervil, winter savoury, these are all winter hardy. These are all cold hardy plants. They'll keep growing throughout the winter and the cold months, and they will really kick off again in the spring. Plants such as chives, mint, parsley, sage, and thyme and oregano, these plants will grow through the winter quite happily, but they may need a little bit of protection. So to protect these plants, you can use a cloche to cover and protect from the weather. So you can buy cloches from the garden centre, you can make them yourself. Cut off plastic bottles work really well. So the bigger the bottle, the more area it covers. Cut the bottom off, leave the top where the spout is, just put it straight over the plant. Frost fleece, you can make a little tunnel out of frost fleece, that will protect your herbs really nicely and then keep them growing through the winter. Heavy mulching around the roots, that will help keep the soil temperature warm, so it keeps the roots growing, which keeps the plant growing. Generally speaking, doing this and a cloche and a frost fleece is a really good idea because you also need to protect the new growth. If you're really concerned about how your plants are going to cope with the cold, you can dig them up and then pot them on and then put them under cover. That's a really effective way of doing it, of looking after plants that you're particularly fond of and you want to protect. So you just dig up the plants, pot on into a well-draining potting mixture, give it a good water, and then put it into a greenhouse or a cold frame. That will keep the temperature up, they'll protect the roots and it will protect the plant from the cold. If you haven't got a greenhouse or a cold frame, inside on a windowsill is fine. Get the sunshine in there and they'll keep the warmth. I've also done a video on overwintering your pelargoniums or geraniums. I'll leave a card up above so you can check that out. The principle's still the same, the methods behind it's the same, so you can apply that to your herbs. If you're getting value from this video, give us a thumbs up and put down in the comments, what herbs do you grow in your garden? And are they winter hardy? A lot of my herbs are planted in containers, which is really good. So I bring them into the greenhouse over winter. They keep growing quite happily and it's a bit of peace of mind for me. The ones I have got growing in the garden are very winter hardy. The benefits to growing herbs in your garden are fresh herbs on tap. So when you're cooking and you need something, don't have to go out to the shops. Yes, you can go to the shops and buy it, but it's growing in your garden. It's fresh. It's as fresh as it can get. Absolutely spot on. So it aids laziness and it's there for you when you need it. So herbs have got a really good way of attracting beneficial insects to your garden, and they have a really good way of repelling predatory insects from attacking your plants. So the bright colours of some herbs and the strong scents, they will really do a fantastic job repelling and hiding your plants from the predatory insects that are looking to eat your plants. The flowers do a fantastic job of attracting in beneficial insects, and the scent as well. So they will then protect your plants usually by eating the predatory insects as well. Really good for looking after and managing the pest population in your garden. Winter hardy herbs tend to flower much later in the year and start flowering much earlier in the spring. So these provide a really good source of early and late season nectar for insects and a really good source of foraging for all sorts of wildlife. So a really good food source for the things living in your garden. So there's loads of different benefits that have fresh herbs growing in your garden, from having them for the kitchen right through to the beneficial insects that they attract to your garden. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you got value from it, if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this from Green Fingertips, from myself, click the subscribe button, which is about here, and here for the next video in the lineup. And I will see you in the next video.